You are watching 32 teams in 32 days on the Game Time Sports Network. It's a great day in sports world. What's up to all the sports lovers, the haters, the addicts, and the fanatics out there? This is Larry Patterson with GT365. It's Game Time 365 Sports right here on the GTSN. It's the Game Time Sports Network. What's up, Ramon, man? How you doing today, man?
What's going on, man? I'm doing great, man. It's just out here raining cats and dogs, as my grandma say. So, but other than that, I'm doing all right, man.
It looked like from afar, like you got a dress shirt on. It looked like you got a little.
Oh no,
Okay,
I got my
I
little,
got you. I got
I got
you.
my little, what I'm saying, my little Carolina quarter zip. You get up there in age, you don't be wearing little whole joint. You gotta go get the quarter zip, and what I'm saying, getting up there, man. Unk status now, so got a little quarter
Okay,
zip for you.
okay, fancy. I see that. I see
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
So we moving on to our second team in the NFC West, and that's the current defending NFC West champions, the Los Angeles Rams, who finished last season 9-8, and they started the season 1-4 through the first 5 games. They went on a bye week, went 4-2 over their next 6 games, then went 5-1 to close out the season in the last 6. Defeated the Vikings 27-9 in the wild card round, and then beat lost to the Eagles in a game where Stafford was on a drive, to potentially, tie that thing up and put the Rams in contention. Um, but they didn't. And credit to the Eagles defense, but they lost that game 28-22. Um, I think these guys had one hell of a season, don't you think?
Yeah, man. It was a great season for them. For them to go as far as they did and take the eventual Super Bowl champions to miss missed assignment by the interior offensive lineman. That they were that close to playing in the final game of the season. So great season for me.
Yeah. Overall, offensively, ranked 15th overall. Defensively, they ranked 26th. In the pass game, offensively, they ranked 10th, ranked 20 defensively, and in the run game, 24th offensively, 22nd defensively. So they did some work in the draft this year, and did some work in the off season as far as free agencies as well. Let's go through last year real quick. Matthew Stafford, 3,762 yards, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Um, Tyron Williams, man, that boy can
Yeah,
run.
that boy,
Uh,
whew, his
twelve
contract gonna be
hundred,
upcoming
twelve
here
ninety
too.
nine. Go ahead.
I said, yeah, his contract gonna be coming up soon. He looking to get paid, and they should take care of him too.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because I got some thoughts about that. But he had 1299 on yards. It's like his second 1,000 yard season, 14 touchdowns. Um, and then your Blake Corum, I mean, he did a little work with 207 on the ground. But going to the receiving area, Puka Nakua led with targets with 106, 79 catches, 990 on the yards. Cooper Cup, who's no longer there, he had what 12 played 12 games, 700, still racked up 700 over 700 yards. So Tutu Atwell, who's I think his role will expand this coming season with 562 on the yards, 42 touchdowns. I mean 42 touchdowns, 42 catches.
Mm.
Um Kobe Parkinson, uh he did some work while I think their tight end was Tyler Higbee was out, though he only played 3 games. So 294 yards. He did a little work. I mean, run game, run blocking as well. So uh, defensively, I think Braden Fisk the rookie led this team in sacks with like 8.5. If I'm not mistaken, we about to, yep, 8.5 sacks by a rookie. Kobe Turner had 8, Byron Young 7.5. I think this unit will be way better this coming season. You know, Sean McVay is all about development and getting better. Christian Roseboom, who's no longer there, he had 135. Quentin Lake, another triple digit tackler. Cameron Curl did some work over there. Omar Spates, undrafted guy that flashed in his time there last year. So we'll talk about him a little later on as well. But overall, going to the key additions for this team, Puka Nakua. Puna Ford was one because the Rams run defense allowed 4.6 yards per carry. That was 26 in the NFL and over 195 yards per game. So, you know, you bring a veteran run stuffer like him in, and then your boy, Devontae Adams, who was brought there this offseason as well. I know you've been watching him very closely for the last couple years. What do you think, or how do you feel about Devontae in this offense coming up this year? It's about to be real.
Yeah, man. Of course, man. I've been watching Devontae. Everybody know I'm a Raiders fan, so I've seen Devontae since 2022. Yes, he's not the Devontae Adams of the yesteryears with Green Bay, but he's still one of those guys that can give you problems on it in the slot outside. Um, put him in motion, get a mismatch on linebacker. It's still spooky hours. So don't get it twisted, man. Just because he had a couple down years, with Vegas and with the Jets last year, he still can produce at a high level at the big age of I think he's 32, 33 years old in
Yeah,
that range, I
32.
believe. Yeah, so he's definitely going to help Stafford and unlock this offense. I think to a next level with Puka being there, and we're going to speak on Tutu Atwell here in a minute. With him being getting the 1 year deal that he got, he's going to be able to stretch the field, man. So I believe the wide receiver core, at them and Devontae in the offseason was, a good upgrade over a great upgrade. Yes, they
Puka
lost Cooper
got
Cup. Yeah, yes, they lost Cooper Cup, but I think Puka can do some of the same things that Cooper Cup did in the past. So, yeah, man, we'll see.
Tutu Atwell. That's what I meant to say. But Tutu Atwell, as you was talking about with the 1 year extension, that's 10 million. So you know he's bringing some extra stuff. You know, this is another year that he has to prove. You know, so you can definitely expect his role to expand as well. I'm trying to pull up this roster here, but um defensively, I mean not defensively, but key losses to this team. Do you think this team will uh not to say suffer, but maybe the offense takes a step back without Cooper Cup? Yeah, even though Cooper was kind of like slowing down, last couple years with the injuries, missing games and things like that. How do you feel like this? How do you feel this team will go on without the presence of Cooper Cup there?
I think I think they will go on. I actually think they'll be a little better. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? With our Cooper Cup because they will have him. I think Cooper Cup's availability last year with him being in and out of the lineup, being hurt, kind of chemistry wasn't there or whatever the case may be. So I think they'd be a lot better. Not saying Devontae and Cooper Cup or world beaters by chance, but I think you slide Devontae in that spot. Um, is it an upgrade? That's debatable. But I think Devontae can give you a 4 years barring injury. That's for any wide receiver as well. So yeah, man, it sucks to lose Cooper Cup. He's been there. He's triple crown winner for the Rams. He's won a Super Bowl there. But hey, I just think his offense would be a lot better in um, getting the ball to all these weapons that Stafford has.
Yeah, speaking of weapons, man, of course, he's got my running back. What? Why am I blinking tonight? Kyron Williams. Of course, he's got
Kyron.
Kyron Williams and Puka, and then with the addition of Devontae, and then Jordan Whittington is another one. Um, Jordan Whittington is another one that's coming along. He had some production last year. Go up to his stats here. What is he? 28 targets, 22 catches, 293 yards. So with the targets that was thrown his way, I mean, he only missed six. He only missed six targets. So you gotta factor him in as a good weapon. You still got Tyler there. Who knows if he'll get traded because then they got the emergence of Terrence Ferguson coming along. You know,
That
so
that guy.
I share your thoughts on him.
Yeah, man. Big bodied, tight end. I think he's 6'6". Fluid athlete. Go up and get the jump ball. He reminds me of, and help me if I'm wrong, or the little bit I've seen of him. He reminds me of Jimmy Graham a little bit, and we all know how prime Jimmy Graham was when he was with Seattle and New Orleans. He was like that. So I get Jimmy Graham vibes from Terrence Ferguson, and if he plays anything like Jimmy Graham did in his heyday, they got another one.
You still there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, repeat it because you went out for a second.
Okay, I was saying like if he apologize, chat. If Terrence Ferguson has any type of career that Jimmy Graham had, or has that type of production when he was an All Pro, they're gonna be in a good space for a good little while with him.
Absolutely. You think before we head on to the defense, you think Blake Corum? I think Blake Corum should be a name to watch as well this year, uh, because here's why. So I don't know why everything is moving so slow for me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, but their draft. Let me go to their draft here. So of course, Terrence Ferguson. Now, the name I'm looking at, Jarquez Hunter, that they drafted in the fourth round, and then you got Blake Corum as well. Here's why I feel like the Rams are not going to extend Kyron, because mm, basically he's going to be looking for what, about 15 a year.
Yeah, he could be in that ballpark.
Do you really?
I wouldn't say 15. I say maybe 12, 11, 12. I don't think he's going to be 115, not unless he has the year that he had last year.
Do you think that because the Rams have been drafting running backs, for the last couple of years, and I don't see that philosophy changing. So instead of getting out to paying this guy, hey, use him up. He's got another year left. Use him up, and then you got the next guy coming along with Blake, and then with Jarquez, and who knows next year who's coming out as well. So I feel like that's why maybe they don't pay him. Maybe they let him walk, and you know.
So could you do me a favor, Larry, and could you read off Kyron Williams' stats from last year again?
Kyron had 316 on the carries and 1,299 yards with 14 touchdowns. I know.
How many touchdowns you said?
He had 14.
Okay.
He had 14, but then the year before that, he also rushed for 1,000 yards and 1,144 yards. So that was his second year. 12 touchdowns.
All right.
I
So
see what you I see what you're saying though, but I'm just looking at like the nature of business. Sean McVay, he's good at developing and drafting as well. So
right, and you're not wrong. But if we look at the landscape of the league now, the league is a little trendy right now. They're paying running backs. The running back is back, right? You had Josh Jacobs go get paid in Green Bay. You had Saquon leave, go get paid in Philadelphia. Um, you had CMC leave, get traded, right? And
Yeah.
get another contract extension. You see Omarion Hampton get drafted in the first round. You see Ashley Jensen get drafted in the first round. Um, yeah, man, it's they're paying these guys now. Now, would that have happened 5 years ago? Probably not. But it's just the league is such on a cycle to where I think right now for all running backs, it's good to be a running back and a high level running back because they're going to pay you. The name of the game is to put the ball in the paint. Now, on the other hand, I will say, you know, look at Buffalo with James Cook right now. He won $15 million a year, and they're not doing that. Um, so it can go both ways, man. But I don't know, man. It's a little tricky, but I see what you're saying about drafting and develop running backs, run them in the ground, and hey, after 4 years you can put some new tires on the car. But then again, it's like, are you going to miss that production from Kyron Williams if you don't pay him? You know what I mean? Could you get that for Blake Corum or Jacquez Hunter? If you let Kyron walk out the door for nothing. So it's tricky right now.
And that's one of them, because it's always a gamble. It's a gamble with just about any player, in that free agency process. Whether it's like, hey, look, I know you deserve it, but it's like we got other things to address over here. And do we pay you? Because you know how those owners feel. Like it's like, do we pay you this, and then say you have a catastrophic injury with an injured
But
season?
all right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate now. All right, so would you rather pay? Would you okay? Here we go. Would you rather pay Kyron Williams, give him three, give him give him 3 years, 30, whatever the case may be, right? Have that security blanket in the backfield, knowing that hey, you may know Stafford, this may be his last year, and you're gonna usher in a rookie quarterback, 26 or 27, and the best the quarterback's best friend is a run game, right? Do you pay Kyron knowing that hey, Stafford's not going to be here forever, and we're gonna because if you think about it, the Rams literally are going to be drafting the quarterback next year. I'm not saying it's first round or second round, third round, but they're going to be drafting a new guy because Stafford's what 39, 40 now. He may want to play another year or two, but eventually he's going to be out the building and going to getting his gold jacket to the Hall of Fame. I firmly believe. But or do you let Kyron walk and potentially still have a rookie quarterback with a rookie running back? Something like the Cleveland Browns, what they're doing this year. They have no Chubb, they have no veteran quarterback. You're going to start either Shador or Dylan Gabriel probably, and you're going to have Junkins or either Dylan Sampson being your RB1, RB2. What would you do?
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go with the youth.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with the youth, and if the run game is not the same, and if we miss out on that production with him, then that's just something we'll just have to work around. But to pay him, just like I said, man, you know how owners think.
Right.
We've seen it time and time again where this running back is very deserving of this contract, but it's like you got so much talent coming up the seams. Plus, with McVay's resume, you know, with him developing and the way that he does, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with in that situation. I'm gonna have to go with I'll let him walk.
Yeah, but are you 100% sure that Sean McVay is going to be there next year if Matthew Stafford decides to sit it down?
Why is he going? Why he leaving?
I mean, he might want to retire. They had hinted that he wanted to retire maybe a year or two ago. He wanted to sit it down and join in the booth because, if I'm not mistaken, one of I think ESPN had offered him a job, or it was ESPN or one of the two. One of them offered him a job. But McVay's been doing it, man. McVay, think about it, man. McVay's been coaching since when? He was. back there when they had Kirk Cousins and RG3 on their staff, where they had Kyle Shanahan. So he's been doing it for a while. You know what I mean? So I'm just
Fact.
saying, man. Like, do you want? I'm now. When I say this, I'm not saying this. I'm not comparing the two, right? I'm not. But do you want another New York Giants situation to happen, where you got your boy, the owner, and was like, well, I can't afford to let Saquon walk out the door without giving him something that's reasonable. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to see that, especially if it's not saying, Kyron Williams going to a rival team in the division or whatever, but it's like, all right, you let Kyron Williams leave LA, he goes sign with Arizona and go crazy like Saquon did with Philadelphia. It's like, do you
Hey,
want that
hey,
to happen all
hey,
over again?
hey, that actually could be an option, especially if Arizona doesn't sign James Conner back this offseason. Good.
Exactly. It's like, do you want to pay for the production? You know what I'm saying? If you want to pay for the production, yes, you give him his money. But if not, you move on with the youth movement, like you said, and just hey, there's going to be growing pains, and hopefully Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter can step up to the plate and fill that role and hit those touchdowns that Calvin Williams giving you double digit touchdowns 2 out of the last 3 seasons. So, but yes, I digress. We can move on to your next topic there.
Yeah, I definitely see him as a Pro Bowl Pro Bowl edition this year, uh, coming in the pike, man. So offensive line, they re-signed Coleman Shelton at the center position. Right guard, you had Kevin Dodson, who I believe was also paid. Rob Havenstein at the right tackle spot. Steve Avila at the left guard spot, and then Alaric Jackson.
Alaric Jackson.
Alaric Jackson at the left tackle spot. Um, I've been hearing some things about Bo Limmer, who came in last year and had some eyes on him a little bit. I think somebody got injured. Uh, but how do you see this offensive line? Under that McVay offense, how do you see this offensive line shaping up?
I mean, I think Alaric Jackson. I want to say he came over from Miami. Help me if I'm wrong. Um, it's a decent player. Then you got Kevin Dawson. He's been in the league, for a while, so he's a wily vet. Um, he's going to know how to hold in the right side of the ball. Keep Matthew Stafford uptight. So I think the offensive line will be solid. It's just hey, can we infuse some youth in there as well? If that makes sense.
Yeah, going over to the defensive line. So Puna Ford, I think is a good addition, as I said. So then you still have Kobe Turner, Brayton Fisk, who's an absolute stud last year, and even Jared Verse, who was also a stud too. The numbers don't indicate that. I think he had like 4.5 sacks, I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, four and a
yeah,
half
yeah,
sacks,
yeah. He was a monster for them.
66 tackles, good in the run game as well. And he won defensive player of the year. No, defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah,
So that was more about impact. So I get that. Um, then you draft Ty Hamilton out of Ohio State, and then Josiah Stewart out of Oregon. I think they are going to be key going into this season as well for this defense.
yeah. Just Josiah Stewart, right? That's it. From Michigan, right?
Is he from Michigan or Oregon?
Yeah, it's Michigan. You know,
It's
you
Michigan.
know, yeah,
It's Michigan. Of course,
I
you
know
would
my
know.
boys. I know my boys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
My bad.
but I think that defense with Jared Verse having another year on his belt. Braden Fish been having they came in together as rookies, so they can only grow and get better together. And then don't forget about Byron Young on the other side. You know what I'm saying
Yeah,
that they drafted a couple drafts ago. This defensive line is for real. They're young, And then you add Josiah Stewart to the mix. He's a little undersized at 6'3", but boy, can he get after it. He definitely can get after the quarterback. So you'll see him in some DPR situations. It wouldn't be surprised me if he end up being another, every damn player here for the Rams and like during the season. But the questions for me is, you got Cam Curl that came over from the Commanders. I want to say signed him as a free
Yeah,
agent. Commanders as a
yeah.
free agent, but the spot that bothers me with this team is the cornerback spot. I don't know if they've really addressed that situation yet. If not, it needs to be addressed by via trade, via free agency, or whatever the case may be. But that's the one piece of the secondary. I mean, one piece of the defense that gives me a little cause for pause.
I honestly thought Miami was going to be trading him to back over to Jalen Ramsey, back over
Yeah,
to Los Angeles. That would have been a good spot, but maybe
that
Ram,
definitely was a possibility for sure.
yeah, maybe the Rams just maybe the asking price. What was the asking price in that trade? I forgot.
They end up giving Ooh, I don't even remember. I know Minka came back like a late round pick. I'm not really sure. We'll get the details on the trade, but whatever it is, I'm pretty
Mm,
sure LA could have probably matched it. But I don't know if if they want that. There's a reason why he had left LA the first time, and I don't know if they want to rehash those or revisit that situation again. So
yeah, as you mentioned, Cameron Curl, Cameron Kitchens played well as last year as well. Kitchens was a rookie, right?
yes, for Miami, yes.
Yeah, yeah, I figured that. Then you got Jalen McCullough is behind him. Darius Williams, as you was talking about, Darius Williams, and then Akella Witherspoon. Those are your two starting cornerbacks right now. With Darion Kendrick, who was a draft pick like I want to say last year before last, and as well as Kobe Durant. So, like you said, I don't feel very confident in that cornerback group right there with those veterans. I mean, yeah, they're veterans, but you're gonna have to get something else back there too. I thought Jalen Ramsey would have been perfect, but
Perfect to mentor that room for sure.
exactly, exactly. Um, you want to go schedule? Let's go schedule.
Yeah, let's go. Can you see me by the way? I think my phone's like cutting out. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you good.
Okay.
So on schedule, and I think this one might be a little bit. It might not be as tough as the other ones. So you start off week 1 at home against Houston, and that's not Sunday night. That's 4:25 game. Okay, so you got Houston at home, then you hit the road at Tennessee, at Philadelphia. Whew. The
Yeah,
third game of the season.
Jerry Verse. Oh, he hates Philly, so he gonna have that game circled for sure.
The third game of the season. You got to go back to Philly, where you could have had a chance to win the game and go to the NFC Championship, or at least tied it up. Um, Then you back home against Indianapolis. Then you face San Francisco on a Thursday night. That's big. But we don't know how San Francisco is going to be looking this year too, especially the way that wide receiver room is looking.
Yeah, it looking spooky over there.
Then you're at Baltimore. Then you go across the pond and play Jacksonville. Hit the bye week. So I mean, damn, you treat them good. You treat the Rams good. Unlike one of them teams that we were talking about, I think it's Cleveland, where they had to go across the pond, and then the next week they got to play Pittsburgh,
That was Minnesota, I think.
Minnesota, yeah, Minnesota, somebody.
Yeah,
But you treat the Rams good, then you hit the bye. You're back at home against New Orleans,
layup.
at San Francisco. Then you're at home against Seattle, then Tampa Bay, and then you're at Carolina, at Arizona, back at home against Detroit, at Seattle on Thursday, and then you play Atlanta on Monday before finishing off at home against Arizona.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's not a bad schedule right there, man. I can definitely see them hitting. They're going back to the playoffs.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
I know our brother Rob. He's a little higher on the Cardinals than I am. Last night he was singing all the Cardinals, praises yesterday, but I just don't think Matthew Stafford being the senior quarterback in his division with the most playoff experience. I think he knows that the window of his career is closing, and especially in that division, it's not like it's a gauntlet to get to win a division. You can probably win a division by week 11, 12, if you really want to, knowing that you have Sam Darnold, who's just Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy, who knows what he's going to be like since he's the man, as we stated yesterday. He has the pressure on him now. He has to deliver. And then you have Kyler Murray. Hey, he year 8. We know what he is, man. He's never taken that next step. So I really think this is the year that the Rams really locked in that division, and they do make a deep run. So I know we're not doing predictions yet for wins and losses, but I could definitely see the Rams, win that division and win it really early.
I mean, you can play wins and losses if you want.
Okay.
you know, we're not against that here.
Oh,
And, if you wanted to do that, but you know, yeah, I feel like not to go over the back over to the schedule, but that the first four, I can see this team going 3-1, potentially 2-2, depending on how that Houston game going. Then you're at Tennessee, like you're getting that.
yeah,
Then at Philly, that's gonna be your toughest one before going to Indianapolis, and who knows what Indianapolis is gonna look like.
absolutely.
Like I said yesterday, and you and brother Rob, I think y'all kind of tried to move the Daniel Jones the Daniel Jones narrative over to the side. But I mean, hey, there could be a chance Daniel Jones could be competing this year. Um, you just don't see it. Um,
Hey, I'm
then
glad I'm glad you optimistic for Daniel Jones, and I'm glad you are. Somebody has to be on this panel. Somebody has to be. And I'm gonna let it be you, brother.
hey, me and Daniel Jones going all the way to the playoffs.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you one thing. If Daniel Jones take the Colts to the playoffs, bro, whatever you want on me, dinner on whatever you want, I got you. Because there's no way.
It is no. I want you to wear a Broncos jersey. That's what I want you to wear.
That's a deal. That is a deal. I got you. That is a deal. I will go out and I will get me a Bo Nix jersey and I will wear it for the. All right, this is what happened. If Daniel Jones take the Colts to the playoffs, I will buy a Bo Nix jersey and I will wear it for 5 straight episodes next season, next off season.
Okay.
So I'm so there.
All right. Handshake.
Gotcha.
All right. Finishing off the schedule, but then you after Indy, San Francisco, and then at Baltimore, like that's gonna be like that toughest, that another tough one as well. But we ain't gonna go over the schedule because we just went all the way over it. But I feel like this team is set up for success this year. Especially the season that Matthew Stafford's coming off of. A big question mark with me for Matthew Stafford is his health, not his health, but I think he missed one game last year. But as he gets older, as he's taking those hits, that's going to be a concern for me.
All
What do you
right.
think?
Yeah, man. I think the hits, like we said about Rodgers a few episodes ago, man. One foul hit, and it's over for you. But not we know Stafford wanted a pay raise this last offseason as well because there was rumors out there that the Giants and Vegas was going back and forth trying to get him up out of LA. Maybe that just was a money ploy to get more money from the Rams, which if you're going to use two teams to get more money, the Raiders and Giants would be the two teams because at that time, and they both desperately need a quarterback. So I get that. But here, Larry, this is what I'm going to say. Right, I really think people are, and this is my opinion, people. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say people really took that trade with Atlanta, and they laughed at Atlanta. Well, not laughed at for taking James Pierce, when they could have got him in the second round. But I feel like the Rams were very strategic with what they did with that pick. They could have easily sat there and picked somebody where they picked that, but yet what they do, they traded out for next year's one, right?
So now they got two first round
Now they
picks.
got two first, and this quarterback class has Sellers maybe, you have Aller maybe, you have Nussmeier, you have Klubnik, you have Mendoza from Indiana, Arch come out, that's another one, and there's gonna be a couple more guys, John Mateer from Oklahoma. So I really think the Rams have set themselves up to go get one of these guys next year, whether it's Arch or Sellers or whoever it may be, Klubnik, whoever. So with that being said, I really do think that this year could be Stafford's last, or either next year is his last, and then they usher in a new regime in 2026 or 27. So that's why I think the Rams, they're in this window now. Hey, hey guys, we got this close. We lost to the Super Bowl champs by a play. Let's go all in. Give Devontae Adams. Give Tutu his 1 year extension. Go get Blake. Get Blake Corum some more burn. Go get another running back. Play Kyron. Go get Terrence Ferguson, man. Let's just load up, man. Because deep down in my heart, I think this is Stafford's last hurrah this year, right here. And if McVay is going to leave, I can see them two leaving off in the sunset together. Hey guys, we came to LA, we won a Super Bowl, we did what we were supposed to do. Now we can retire as Super Bowl champs and have somebody else take over the reins next year. That's what I firmly believe is going to happen. And in all the moves that they made in the draft points to signs leading that way, if that makes sense.
Heading to the future.
Yes.
Question for you: better GM, Roseman or Les Snead?
Oh, come on, man. It's Howie. Come on, man. It's Howie. It's Howie. It's
Not,
Howie.
not, not, not with the transaction that's Les Snead is over here doing. He's won a championship too now.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. But what Howie doing is on another planet. Howie's on another. Now, don't get me wrong. Les Snead, he done made some transactions. Now he done made some picks. Don't get me wrong. Hey,
Just for what you just said, the ability to trade and then to get two first round picks next year.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. He was. his slogan. He was. Excuse me, after them picks.
And he was after them picks a couple years ago.
Absolutely, but yeah, that was when you had Aaron Donald. In his heyday, and you had what's my other boy, Jalen Ramsey in his heyday. You don't have that no more, so you have to start thinking, okay, life after Stafford, life after Donald, life after Ramsey. What does it look like? Because just as well as I do, all GMs, all scouts, they have an eye toward the future, but they also have a responsibility for the right now and present. So that's why I say if I had to pick one, I would pick Howie because Howie has so many picks that probably half of his picks won't even make the roster. So they'll make the practice squad because his roster's so good. So I would say Howard will right now, but Leslie's not that far behind him for sure.
Uh, let's go. You want to go more or less?
Yeah, I'm so.
All right. So let's go. Let's go. Matthew Stafford. I like to go to quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford. He had what 30,
38, you
oh,
say?
37-62 on the yards, 20 touchdowns. Does he get over? Does he get more or less than 37-62 on the yards and 20 touchdowns?
I'm gonna say more just because of number 17s over there now. You got two number ones. You know what I mean? Like this. Don't get me wrong. Look, like you got two number ones out there playing receiver. Like don't get me wrong. This wide receiver core is, I think, is just like slept on a little bit. You know what I mean? You got your Tyreek's and your Jalen's, and you got your Brian Thomas's and your Travis Hunter. Even though Travis hasn't played anything yet, but I think this wide receiver core is a little slept on. Like they can't make no noise. But so I'm gonna say over 30. I'm gonna say he hit 4,000, and I'm gonna say he hit 30 touchdowns, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Devontae Adams had 1,063 yards last year combined between the Raiders and then the Jets, and he also had 8 touchdowns. Does he go more or less than 1063 on the yards and 8 touchdowns?
More, more. He's still, because he's a route guard. He can get open regard. He don't have to be. He's not the fastest, but with Devontae so good at uh, not giving. Devontae is so good at not tipping his routes and giving, showing his hands late. So by the time the corner turns his head around, and Devontae's not giving no indication that the ball is coming. His hands are so late. By the time you turn around and the ball's already in his hands, it's too late. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna say more for sure and more touchdowns.
He's good at creating separation and starting his routes as well
Oh yeah,
too.
it's next to none, man.
Especially at 32. At 32, like man, that offense is gonna be so exciting to watch. Another offensive player. I'm gonna go your boy Kyron Williams. So he had 1,299 yards and 14 touchdowns. In terms of yards, because I don't. Well, he had 12 the year before. He had 14 last year. I'm okay. In terms of yards and touchdowns, will he get more or less than 1299 and 14?
I'm gonna say he get less in both categories only because Blake Corum, sorry, his role will be expanded a little bit. He'll get a little more carries. He'll get some catches at the backfield. And the rookie Jaquez Hunter, that Sean McVay, I looked at the Rams offseason, you know, documentary where they was in the draft room. He was really pounding the table for this guy. He was one of the guys that he had to go get. So, when the head coach stand on the table and say, "Hey, I need this guy in my offense," you expect him to get some touches early on and often for sure. So I'm gonna say less in both categories just because of uh, the way they split the carries and receptions up between those three.
I wish I had Jarquez stats right in front of me because I watched the film on him, and bro, I love it. I love the film. Just the speed, the way that he runs, just he's gonna fit so well in that system.
Yep.
Um, let's go defense here. So okay, Jared Verse. He had 4.5 sacks last year. I know he had 66 tackles. In terms of sacks, that number has to go up, don't you think?
12, 13. Yep. 12, 13. I think he's that type of guy. If he showed that as a rookie, I don't think if he continues to ascend like he did last year and got better as the year went on, it can get scared real quick for an opposing tackle. That young man, he has so much power in his hands. He don't have the finesse game. His right here in his hands, bro. It can get spooky. So I'm gonna say 12 to 13. I got that. I love Jared Verse that much.
And I'm not trying to say like sacks mean a whole lot. I mean, obviously they do mean a lot, but that they don't mean a whole lot in terms of like when you're getting to the quarterback because that's really what it's all about. Getting to the quarterback, disrupting the quarterback's throws, forcing him into bad decisions, stuff like that. So yeah, I totally understand the play is a whole lot bigger than sack numbers and totals and stuff. But also when they are in negotiations for contracts, they're looking at that as well.
Yeah, they definitely are. And like I said, I'm saying 12 to 13 sacks, and we know sacks ain't the end all be all. But I'm looking at pressures and hurries as well. They're just important as sacks. You know what I mean? So definitely, I'm going 12 sacks for my boy, 12 to 13 for my boy Verse.
Our boy, Omar Speights,
Ooh,
played 17 games. He started 10. Does he get over? Does he go more or less? Well, obviously, he got to go more. 67 tackles.
got to. Only because I think he's going to be probably the starter this year. He probably gonna be the starter this year. So just because of him playing 17 games, if nothing happens injury wise, he's gonna clear 67, cleared by like 30 tackles to say.
And I'm going to throw one more in there. Byron Young, 7.5 sacks. Does he go more or less than 7.5?
If he can meet Verse that will give him 10, I'm gonna say 10 because it's like that defensive line, man. Like I'm telling you right now, Larry. When Josiah Stewart get on the scene, once he get up the NFL speed in the game, the game catches up with the game, bro. It's gonna be so scary. It's gonna be so scary for the NFC because all them guys are relentless pass rushers. They move. They they're violent, man. It's gonna be scary, bro. With him, Fisk, Verse, Bryant, and he said you got Puna Ford, as a run stuffer in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's they're gonna be real, bro. So I'm gonna say about 10 for our boy Byron Young.
I'd like to apologize to Josiah Stewart. Clearly, I have you right there. It's going to Michigan, and
Yeah, trying to play my boy.
I had the
Yeah.
nerve. I had the nerve to say Oregon earlier. Man, my bad, bro.
Yeah.
Uh,
They get my boy there.
my players. Oh yeah, before that, so Jarquez Hunter, right? 2021, he started at Auburn. In terms of his yards per average, 6.7 in 2021. 2020,
Yeah.
2022, 6.4. 2023, 5.7. Last year, 6.4. I see the vision.
Oh
And
yeah.
then going to his last 2 years, 2023 he had 909 on the yards and 7 touchdowns. And then last year he had 1,201 yards and 8 touchdowns. So I can see, man, that is I'm excited to see what goes on in LA. But my players to watch this year Braden Fisk. I want to see him step up in year two. Omar Spates as well, the undrafted product. Um, and then Jordan Whittington, seeing what he can do in the pass game, considering his role will will be expanded as well. And then my rookies to watch, Ty Hamilton. I don't feel like we talked about Ty Hamilton enough today.
Mm-mm.
Josiah Stewart, and then Terrence Ferguson are my rookies to watch on this team. Any other players that you pointed out this year
No,
for the Rams?
no, man. I just want to see. I want to see Braden Fisk and Kobe Bryant take that next step in the interior. Of course, I want to see what my boy Devontae does with the new situation. I mean, ain't nothing like coming from you know the Jets. They come on here with that LA weather. I mean, ain't nothing. That's a win. And plus, he's not. He's from the West Coast, so he's right at
Yeah,
home.
he right
So
at home.
he right at home. So that's it's a win-win for him. And I want to see if the season don't turn out the way that the Rams want it to. Maybe they don't make the playoffs. What is the front office going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I know that's not players to watch, but the front office, what are they going to do?
Yeah,
Are they going to say, hey, we're going to turn the page here and just look for a quarterback in 2026? But you'll start seeing little indicators throughout the season. Oh yeah, man, they're moving on from certain individuals. So that's those are a couple of my players and things to watch this year.
I definitely don't see them picking top 5, top 10 to where they're getting one of those quarterbacks.
Well, it don't have to be their pick. It can be
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Falcons pick. So
Falcons pick. The Falcons pick. Oh man, what did the Falcons suck? Look, Howie and then Les. You had to get in the ring, man. You had to get in the ring.
yeah, that was the Falcons pick because they went and took Jalen Walker at 15, and then they came back and got James Pierce at 26, and the Rams moved out, so they come in. So yeah, man, their season depending on if I'm telling you, man, if they have a top five pick next year, even if Stafford does play next year, and the Falcons end up having a top 10 pick, they're definitely taking a quarterback because they know probably Stafford's last year is the next year. So that it all depends on how the season shake out for the Falcons. So
One more thought about Puka Nakua. So he's been doing some of the jet sweep stuff too. Does he continue to still do that? Do you feel like
yeah,
this year?
yeah, they're gonna try to get him the ball any way, shape, or form, whether it's jet sweep, screens, whatever. They're gonna try to do that. You have a diamond in the rough that you found in the fourth, fifth, sixth round. And you got to capitalize because he's gonna want to strike when the money hot, when the iron get hot as well. So they definitely gonna use him in those variations. Excuse me, I got the hiccups for some reason.
Well, I think we pretty much touched everything on this Rams team. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think we was covered most of the Ram situation last year and this offseason and what they got coming up this year. So I think we did all right.
Tomorrow we'll be bringing on another NFC team, NFC West team, whether the 49ers or the Seahawks. We don't know which one yet, but when we do know, you guys will definitely find out. Any
Hey,
final? Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Any final thoughts? Hey, James Brown, tap in. Let us know what you think, boy, because I know this your team right here. Let
Yeah,
it
oh, Breezy.
yeah, go ahead and let us know because I know you liked the post earlier, so I know you're gonna tell us about ourselves. If we misspoke or we played your team like you thought, something wrong. Let us know in the comments, man. I know it's coming.
Shout out Brizzle, man. Long time Rams fan. One of the only Rams fans I know. Oh, James Brown, man.
Yes, sir.
Uh, yeah, man. I don't think I have anything else. Super Bowl.
NFC division.
I say NFC division, NFC championship. I can see it.
Ooh, that's not a real possibility, man. But
Especially
hey,
with some of the young players that you had last year having that experience, especially in the Philly game, and then you got the younger guys coming on, where those guys can coach those guys up as well too. So I think you got a good balance of veterans and then youth on that team as well. So one of the better rosters in the league.
yep,
So yeah, well, it's been great, folks. Another great episode, and we'll get back with you tomorrow. Until then. Have a good night.